my beautiful friends, it's Amanda here, and today we're doing a little foundation battle. This isn't the typical application demo, wear test type of foundation video that I typically do. In all honesty, in my head, I planned it to be that way, but it turned into a foundation battle, and I'm really not mad about it because it's a fun twist on my usual review. So, if you're not already aware, I have a recent favorite foundation after a year plus of not wearing foundation at all. I started wearing this serum foundation from The Ordinary and I have absolutely been loving it. It was in my most recent favorites. I've been wearing it pretty much every single day that I wear makeup. I've been wearing this. So when I saw that Tarte released a new serum foundation, I knew that I wanted to try it. A lot of my favorite face base type of products come from Tarte. I love their Maracuja tinted moisturizer. That has been an absolute go-to for me. That's the type of product that I've used up an entire bottle of, which is saying a lot when you test out as many products as I do. I like the new revamped Shape Tape Ultra Creamy Concealer. I like the Found Sealer foundation. I love the Shape Tape Glow Powder. I just really have a lot of their base type products that have become absolute must-have staple favorites for me. And since I've been on a serum foundation kick, I knew that I absolutely had to try the Tarte version of the serum foundation. The Hydroflex Serum Foundation also released alongside this Power Flex Concealer. So I'm going to be testing this one out today too. But the main focus of this video is these two foundations battling it out. I'm going to give you a quick little rundown of the Power Flex Concealer first. This concealer is priced at $28 US. It does contain 10 milliliters of product and it comes in 32 shades. A big draw for this Tarte Flex line, in my opinion, is that these products are completely vegan. I know my vegan friends out there struggle to find great products that you can guarantee are vegan. So that is one big draw for the Power Flex Concealer and Hydroflex Foundation. So keep that in mind, vegan friends, these are for you. I did want to show you an application demo for this Power Flex Concealer just so you could see how this worked on its own. I am going to wear the tiniest bit of this concealer during the rest of the wear test that you're going to see throughout the video, but I wanted to just give this its own little spotlight. First, let's just take a close-up look at my completely bare skin. This is no product, just clean, moisturized skin so that you can see where we're starting. I think this gives you a better idea of truly what the coverage and the finish looks like if you know what my skin underneath actually looks like. We're going to just do a quick little side-by-side with this Power Flex Concealer. I'm using the shade 14N, which is Fair Light Neutral. This does have the big old doe foot on it, just like the original Shape Tape Concealer. I'm just applying a couple of little dots right around my under eye area and then patting that in with my finger. This is obviously no foundation or anything. I just want to show you the concealer performance on its own before we get into the foundation battle. That way you can see what this looks like and how it performs by itself. All in all, this is okay for me. I don't love it more than my Pretty Fresh concealer from ColourPop, which is way less expensive. This is nice. It performed well. I think it looked great in the demo. It's going to look great throughout the rest of the wear test. Spoiler alert. It's just fine. It's just not really enough of a standout for me personally to be head over heels for it, but I'm not going to return it. I'll still use it up. I still think it looks good on my skin. It's just not going to be my go-to concealer, but it's good. It's fine. If you love it, I see why. It's just sort of okay for me. Now let's get to this Hydroflex Serum Foundation. This one also comes in 32 shades, just like the concealer. It's priced at $39 US, and this one's also vegan. So keep those facts in mind. We are going to be comparing the Hydroflex Foundation to the Ordinary Serum Foundation. These are very similar in size. The Tarte one has 1.01 fluid ounces, and this one has 1 fluid ounce. I don't really feel like that 0.01 fluid bounce is really making that much of a difference, but I'm just trying to be as accurate as I can. The Ordinary foundation actually comes in 36 shades. Now they only offer 21 of those on the Ulta site, but if you go over to the Ordinary website, they have 36 shades available, and this one's priced at $7.50 US. That is not a typo. You are not hearing that wrong. This is $7.50 and you have 36 shades to choose from. This one is $39. $39.00, US dollars, and it comes in 32 shades. Pretty evenly matched as far as amount of product, number of shades. The Ordinary is just barely squeaking ahead on the shade range, and it is absolutely crushing the Tarte on price. So what really is going to set these two apart from each other is performance. So I want to show you an application demo. We're going to do some wear test check-ins, and I'll wrap up all my thoughts at the end. Once again, starting with the bare skin baseline, I just went and removed that concealer and re-cleansed and moisturized. That way we'd have a nice clean, fresh canvas to work on. We're going in first with the Tarte Hydroflex foundation, also in the shade 14N, so fair light neutral. Tarte has some really good neutral undertones. It can be hard to find true neutrals, and I do think that Tarte does a really, really good job with their neutral ranges. I just dispensed a little bit of the Tarte foundation onto my fingers and dotted that around one side of my face, and then used a nice dense foundation brush to buff that in. We're going to take a close-up look at just this Tarte foundation versus absolutely no product on the skin. That way you can see what kind of coverage this has, what the finish looks like, and I think especially here in this side-by-side you can tell it looks very natural, very skin-like. It's not so dewy that it looks kind of damp or greasy on the face, but it definitely covered up some of that redness while still maintaining a very skin-like finish. It blended in really effortlessly and it feels super comfortable on the skin. I think overall it from the get-go is very similar to the Ordinary Serum foundation, which I've been absolutely loving. So far so good with the Tarte Hydroflex foundation. Now for the true test, we're going to put the Ordinary Serum foundation on the other side of my face. In this one, I use the shade 1.1N, and as you see these blended together, these are very close shade match. So if you do use the same shades as me, you can kind of use these as very comparable. I did wear this wear test side by side look in another video, and nobody was any the wiser. It's very hard to tell the difference between the two. When you see them side by side, they look not only similar colors, but similar finish, similar coverage. So I think these are two great foundations to pit against each other in a battle, because truly when they're first applied here, you can tell they are almost indistinguishable. We're going to move into some very extreme close-ups here in a minute. I want to give you as many different angles and lighting situations and super HD close-ups as possible so that this is a very in-depth, not just information-wise, but also in-depth into my pores and wrinkles type of foundation video. I'm also going to apply just a little teeny tiny bit of this concealer since I am going to be wearing this makeup all day. I didn't want to interfere too much, but I did want to complete my look, and I am going to finish out my whole face of makeup, so I did need just a little tiny bit of concealer here as well. And that's it. That's my finished base makeup. I'm going to complete my look, and I'll be back with some more wear test check-ins very soon. Okay, I'm here for my first check-in comparing these two foundations. It's been a little over 3 hours. I finished my makeup. All I added is cream blush, eyeshadow, some tinted brow gel. That's it. I didn't do any powder. No bronzer, no setting spray, nothing on my actual face except for this cream blush. So let's take a close-up look and see if we can see any difference between the two. When they were first applied, they look pretty much the same, maybe slightly more coverage on the Tarte side. Let's see how they're looking after this just over 3 hours, and then I'll check in really at the end of the day too. Okay, this is the Tarte side. Looks a little dry and heavy in this area. Not terrible, but once you get close up, you can definitely notice kind of dryness, or it's not quite separating, but let's see, do we have nose gunk? No forehead wrinkle gunk. That is another place where a lot of product tends to collect in my little forehead wrinkles here. Maybe looking a little bit dry. I've had some really intense dryness because it got super cold here again. Let's see if we're getting the same thing, if it's just my skin or if there's really a genuine difference in the product here. Not nearly as much. See here versus here, just doesn't look as kind of heavy. Do have a little bit of nose gunk on the ordinary side. Not quite as much dryness showing through here. Maybe some more noticeable around the nose. Like I said, I've been battling really bad dryness the past couple of days. That seems consistent on both sides. It seems like the Tarte side stayed in place a little bit better on my nose, which is one area where I tend to lose my coverage really quickly. So it seems sort of 50-50 right now. From afar, I don't think you can tell any difference at all. Close up, it seems like Tarte is holding its coverage a little bit better, but it's also looking a little bit drier and heavier, whereas this side, it's maybe wearing off a little bit more quickly, but it's wearing more gracefully. It's being more forgiving to my dry skin. So right now it's sort of a toss-up. It depends on how this continues throughout the rest of the day and what your priorities are as far as texture versus coverage and finish. So let's let this play out for the rest of the day. I'm going to try to give a good 6 or 7 hours total and see what the verdict is at the end of the day. Very impressed though overall with the lack of forehead wrinkle gunk. That sounds so gross. What a gross phrase to use, but here we are. Alright, I'll check back in a few hours. See you then. I mean, it's now for you. It'll be later for me. Okay, you get it. You know how videos work. Alright, bye. Alright, it's time for my final check-in. We are past the 6-hour threshold now, so we're gonna see how these two foundations stood the test of time throughout my day today. Activity-wise, I had a pretty chill day. I was just in the office all day, so, you know, I didn't have to deal with weather and the elements or anything, but let's see how these two held up, if we can tell a difference, what has happened since the last check-in. The first spot that I want to check in on is around the mouth area, because that's really where I noticed. I mean, I think you can tell here. On the Tarte side, it's just looking a little drier and a little heavier around the mouth, whereas on the ordinary side, we're not really getting that too much. See what I mean? Looks a lot more skin-like on this side. Now, we're being very picky because we have to, because it's a review. I do also notice that from afar, it seems like my blush has worn a lot more nicely on this side versus on the Tarte side, it just looks like a little bit more patchy and a little bit more uneven. It could just be my skin, since you can see I'm breaking out on this side and not on this side, so maybe not quite the foundation's fault, but I think it's a noticeable enough difference that it's worth mentioning. You know, overall it looks fine, and if I was reviewing this all on its own, I would for sure be giving this foundation a good review, because I do think it looks nice on my skin. It's really comfortable. It feels like nothing at all. It feels nice and even. I just think that in comparison to the ordinary foundation, it does look drier and heavier and just not quite as natural and skin-like. I do think that the ordinary side, really, it just looks like my skin. You can't really detect any dryness or heaviness. The one thing that I'll say the Tarte has done throughout the whole day, and we noticed this in the last check-in, is that it held its coverage a lot better. Like, you can tell the difference here versus how much of my redness on this side started to come through. So overall, I do think that this Tarte foundation looks nice on my skin. I just don't like it as much as the ordinary serum foundation. For me, it didn't quite perform as well, and I had to really nitpick at these little differences, these little dry spots, the way that the blush wore on top. These are such minute differences, and that's really what it comes down to. But overall, I do prefer the look and the performance of the Ordinary Serum Foundation versus this Tarte one. Between the way that these wore throughout the day and the extreme price difference, plus throw in the fact that there are a couple more shades in this one, and just overall this is really the clear winner for me. That doesn't mean that this is a bad product. I do still think this is really nice, and if for some reason you don't have access to this one, but this is the type of product you're looking for, then absolutely, this is great. It looks great. It feels good on. I really don't have many problems with this one. I just can't deny that the Ordinary Serum Foundation is better, for me anyway. I would love to hear what you think about this little foundation battle. Should we do more videos like this where we put similar products head to head? I think it was pretty fun. I hope that you enjoyed it. I would love to hear all your thoughts down in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! My eyeshadow kind of matches the packaging a little bit. Huh? Oh, we've seen nails matching palettes, but have we seen eyeshadow matching foundation and concealer packaging? I'm branching out, whole new sector of crazy matching lady. Honestly, I love that for me. Pull my hair back for the check-in so that I don't have hair in my face. Okay, so you got this. They know. We know how this works, Amanda. Gosh, calm down. Whew. I'm ready for a snack. Is anybody else ready for a snack? You guys ready for a snack? I've been in here working for 8 straight hours. I'm not gonna perish or anything, but it's just been a long day. I'm ready for a break and a snack. Let's dismantle the hustle culture that makes us think we have to work 24/7. Don't do that. Take a break, have a snack, go drink some water, get a coffee, call a friend. I was part of that work 24/7 hustle culture mentality for so long, and it is not good. It makes you burnt out and sad, and don't do that, okay? Because you're too important and you deserve a break. And you don't have to do a certain amount of work to deserve a break either. You just inherently deserve to relax because you're a human. And you know why else? Because I love your face. Oh, found a way to work it in there. Okay. Thanks for watching. You're really cute. And I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.